And with that setting the stage, let's welcome our guest, Dr. Robert Rabil.
Thank you, Congressman. Thank you, France, for having me.
You work very hard monitoring the Middle East. You teach at Florida Atlantic University.
Yes.
Now, it's interesting to get this condemnation from the Afghan Taliban.
Yes.
Are there national differences, ideological differences between the Afghan Taliban and their Pakistani?
You don't have ideological differences. Mainly, they both share the same, the fundamental view of Islam. But what do they have? The Afghani Taliban have been supported by the army, by the Pakistani army, and especially by the intelligence services. So they don't go and attack the Pakistani army. On the other hand, the Pakistan Taliban, they have been attacking the Pakistani army and the intelligence services for quite some time. Let's not forget they have a lot of issues with the Pakistani army. That goes back, I would say, to 2007 with the establishment of Taliban in Pakistan. And they would like to create in the tribal area an Islamic State. And I believe that the state has been working with United States to flush out this area of this radical. So they have been carrying out attack, but recently, especially after the summer, those attacks have been significantly spectacular. Mainly, they have been trying to create a lot of, as what you saw, against the school.
Dr. Rabil, we've had the expression honor among thieves. Is there such thing as honor among terrorists as well?
Well, it could be. Could be, if you want to look at it this way, it could be. And here the Afghan Taliban, they are somehow distancing themselves from this terrible, horrible, event that took place. And there is a reason for that, because they know now the Pakistani army is not going to sit idly by. The Pakistani army and the government, they have to go and they have to bring justice to those people, and they have to go and to rid this area of many of Al-Qaeda, Taliban, and others. And here I would like to highlight one thing, especially from the perception of the Pakistani government, which really it's affecting the way they approach the radicals. The Pakistani government, the civilian government, and the Pakistani army, they are not at one in fighting the radicals. Why? They keep our influence in Afghanistan. On the other hand, Nawaz Sharif is saying, no, listen, I would like to have stability in Afghanistan. I would like to work with India. And this does not sit well with the Pakistani army. So first and foremost, you must have, a policy, formulate a policy where the civilian government and the Pakistani bureaucracy, especially the army, they're going to be at one in fighting this terror.
Perhaps with our own priorities in mind, and we think that obviously this would be job one for the Pakistani government. But we had former Pakistani ambassador to the U.S., Haqqani, on with us yesterday. Ambassador Haqqani said, first, last, and always, it is the tension with India that dominates Pakistani foreign intrigue there with Afghanistan?
Yes, the rivalry with India is one focal point in not only in the relationship between India and Pakistan, but also in the relationship within the Pakistani government among the different, poles of power. And as I mentioned to you, Congressman, Nawaz Sharif has gone to India, with the recent election of Prime Minister Modi. He went there and the army of Pakistan was not happy. So yes, indeed, you have a strong factor where the rivalry with India is affecting the state's policy toward all radical movement, not only the Taliban in Pakistan. You have the Haqqani group, you have the Afghani, and this organization, the Tehreek-e-Taliban, is a loose, combination of many militant groups.
Doctor, what do you think is next then for Pakistan, in your opinion?
Well, Pakistan, first, they have to mourn. This is first and foremost, and I am extremely sad for that. Second, they have to do something with the Taliban there. And this is not only it's going to be done through arms. They have to go there. They have to win back the tribes that have mainly moved over to Al-Qaeda, to Taliban, to Haqqani group, and to others. And they have to have certain, resources there to employ people there. and how they're going to approach there. Are they going to approach there only through military? So really, they have to follow a policy that is a comprehensive policy. It has a military component, but it has also a socio-economic component.
And again, looming out there with the disagreement between the elected government and the military,
Yes.
with a minute remaining,
Yes.
there is always the specter
Yes.
that the military steps in via a coup. Is that another possibility?
It's a possibility. Always in Pakistan has always been a possibility, and we have seen it with the former, with Pervez Musharraf, when he ousted Nawaz Sharif. And this is, since you mentioned that, you have a problem now between the army and Nawaz Sharif, you know, revolving around Pervez Musharraf, because Nawaz Sharif wants to prosecute him, and the army is upset with that. So this is another factor, and you got it on the mark.
So, again, continued intrigue in a land troubled,
Very troubled.
by almost a schizophrenic policy, the military versus the elected leadership, and the fact that we have seen all too often in the past, the military then takes over for that elected leadership via a coup. It's a troubling prospect, but Dr. Robert Rabil, we appreciate the fact that you can try to unpack all these things for us.
I hope
It's
so.
good to have you here. Thanks
I hope
very
so.
much.
I thank you. It's my pleasure.
We'll be
Thank
back
you.
following this Newsmax Now update.